We're just waiting for Charles's family to come in, and then we'll get started.
Can we do something?
No, we're not gonna start first. I guess we could start and go back. No, that's at the end. He's on.
My soliloquy is about 45 minutes.
He's just gonna come up and tell us about what he's doing. We're not really recognizing.
And the National Police.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, do that.
Are we ready? Are we ready? We're already on? Charles. You get a.
Everybody finding the chair now?
No, they stood up for some reason.
That didn't mean anything. That was me doing it.
All right, so you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get started, and then we'll recess and wait for, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then we'll wait for, yeah.
You're gonna go ahead and do that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so.
And then also the National Police
My
Week.
suggestion is bring in Legend up for
Okay.
photo with you and me, and just say, hey, movies coming forward, I'll say a few words about them.
But we'll go ahead when we get to that part. Right. At this time, the mayor will call to order the special city council meeting and workshop at 5:37 on Tuesday, May the 11th, 2021. City Council Chambers, 201 East Nash Street, Terrell, Texas. We have remotely with us District 2 Grady Simpson. We have in chambers District 3 Mayrani Velasquez, District 4 Charles Whittaker, District 5 Tim Royce. At this time, Charles, would you lead us in invocation, please? Everyone stand.
Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us gather together as free citizens and leading and guide us to do what's fair and just for all concerned. We thank you for the young people that are gathered here tonight. We thank you for the leadership that is here. We thank you for our police and fire that protect us on a daily basis. Lead and guide us as we deliberate on issues important to our city. We pray this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, our next item on the agenda is Mayor, Council, Community Recognition and Events. We do have recognition of a council member who's going to be stepping down, who's termed out, but we're going to come back and visit that. This time the mayor is going to ask for M. Legend Brown to come forward, please. So if you would just give us a little briefing on what you do and address the council and the mayor, and then we're going to come down and take a photo with you.
Okay. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you guys for having me here today. I'm a filmmaker. I try to tell most of my stories here locally. They've been seen all over the world. They've been seen in, I think now, 17 different countries. And we're trying to put Terrell out there. So I have a new film called The Key. It's loosely based off of a true story that happened in the 90s up in Fort Worth. So I'm technically trying to make Terrell look like Fort Worth. And it should be, and one of the things I like to have an inspirational message in each one of these. And sometimes so many everything's like convoluted now. And in the last year or so, I've heard people say, well, I'm trying to do the wrong thing for the right reasons. And so this film kind of really speaks to the heart of that. Sometimes we always try to do the wrong thing for the right reasons, but sometimes it's just easy to do the right thing for the right reasons. So that's pretty much a short summary of this film.
Well, we appreciate any time that we can get positive things happening within the city. If you're trying to make it look like Fort Worth and you need a Longhorn, there's a District 4 Council member, Charles Whittaker, that can probably hook you up with a Longhorn.
Okay.
But thank you for sharing our city with the nation and even people abroad, right? Anytime we get an opportunity to put a positive spin on the city, that's the direction that we want to go. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the mayor. Mike, did you want to make?
I just want to also say thank you. Mike Brown has a really great vision for Terrell, and he's a friend of the city. He's been a friend of the city for years, and he's one of the people who's been able to look at our city and say, you know what, we're truly a unique place. You can be in downtown Terrell, and you can be in residential neighborhoods in Terrell, and you can think that you are in any given decade of the past. And we can be a stage set for all sorts of different stories. And then you can drive about 2 miles out of town and you can think that you're in a great rural environment. And that diversity of locations, the friendliness of the people here, that's what brought Mike Brown here to be making films. And we've been a great host, we hope. We want to keep being a good host. We want you to keep you here and keep making movies here for a while. Mike Brown had his headquarters over in Old City Hall, and we just want to keep having a partnership with you and keep working with you. So if you see a film crew around town over the next few days and few weeks, it's Mike Brown's movie, and we love him, and we're glad he's here. So I'm going to invite the mayor. I guess there he is. Okay, and let's come up here and do a picture. Yeah.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
he left. I was gonna tell him I could be an extra. I have a lot of spare time now.
We're going to get you hooked up with him.
We also have recognition, as this is National Peace Officers Week, a presentation for our police chief, and it's a proclamation on behalf of the mayor. And it reads, whereas President Kennedy established May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day in 1962 in recognition of the courageous service and sacrifice of police officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. And whereas the calendar week in which May 15th falls is designated as National Police Week, and whereas the members of the Police Department of the City of Terrell play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and whereas members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas the men and women of the police department of the City of Terrell unceasingly provide a vital public service, now therefore I, Rick Carmona, by the virtue vested in me as mayor and on behalf of the Terrell City Council, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, May the 11th, 2021 as City of Terrell Police Officer Recognition Day, and call upon all citizens of the City of Terrell to thank our men and women in the blue for their service to our community. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the corporate seal of the City of Terrell, Texas to be affixed this, the 11th day of May 2021. Chief, thank you very much.
Anything else we could do?
Our next recognition is going to be Council Member Charles Whittaker. But we're gonna recess for just a few minutes and give your daughter a little. Is she
Okay,
close?
thank you.
Is she close? Okay, so we're gonna recess for just a few minutes. Maybe. Does it sound rough? I sound like a smoker. I don't smoke. Hey, are we still on, Don? Hey, Don, I think I can use that. You think this will work? Are we still on? We're recessed.
One of these days, someone on
We're in recess. No, I knew you.
Who are these young ladies out here?
Hey, can we get
Recognize them or something?
back?
Oh. We hadn't done the library deal yet?
Go back. All right, you ready? Tell her she ready?
Where's Becca? Huh?
We're gonna go back into regular session, and we're gonna come back to recognition of our retiring council member. Our next item on the agenda, though, is to discuss process for tracking council-related customer service. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a very short item, Council. I'm just not going to look.
Before we get there, though, also, I wanted to recognize a former county judge and our current EDC chairman is in the chambers, Mr. Bruce Wood, Dr. Bruce Wood. We also have Clint Huey with Shops at Terrell. Is there anyone here to speak on any item? Not Charles's deal, but anything city-related? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is discuss and process for tracking council-related customer services. This is going to be Mike Sims.
Mayor, this is really just a simple item. Since we've changed from Omira Mata to Dora Trejo, now all of our communication and all of the service requests that we get, those of you guys out in the audience might know that we get a lot of attention from our city council people who often notice things and are great little effort of all of us to keep our community looking crisp and clean. Those comments used to go to Omira and myself, now they'll go to Dora, and that completes that item.
Okay, great. Our next item on the agenda is discuss and consider purchase of Motorola radios from Garland Mesquite radio system. This is Emergency Management Coordinator Dustin Connor.
Good evening. Good to be here again. This is just a follow-up from last week's conversation about the purchase of the Motorola radio system, which was a part of the GMRS join. So this is just the action item for being able to sign that contract with Motorola.
Does anybody have any questions for Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin, how long you been here? How long you been with the city?
This time I've been here since December. December the 4th was my first day.
Okay. I want to appreciate all you've done over the last year and keeping us posted. And it's been a very difficult year, and you're one of the constants that we've had around here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So is there a not to exceed number on this purchase? You have it? Okay, good. So if there's no further discussion, is there a motion? Thank you, Councilman. We have a motion from Tim Royce, Mayor Pro Tem, District 5. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second from Charles Whittaker, District 4. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you, Dustin. You have another one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next item is discuss and consider contract between the City of Terrell and Charter Spectrum for fiber link. Dustin, go ahead.
This is the same thing, so just another part of the GMRS system. This is how we actually get our backhaul back to Garland, so we have access to their core and the power of their radio system. This is the membership into the Charter Spectrum family so that we have a fiber link back to them.
Okay, great. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Connor? Dustin? Nope. Hearing none, the mayor entertain a motion on item 7.2.
Mayor, make a motion that we approve 7.2, a contract between the City of Terrell and Charter Spectrum for fiber link as presented.
Thank you, Councilman. We have a motion from Tim Royce, Mayor Pro Tem District 5. Is there a second?
Second.
I second.
I have a second from Charles Whittaker, District 4. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion to carry. All right, council members, if there's no objection, the mayor would like to suspend the rules and go back and visit item number 4, mayor and council community recognition and events. This is an opportunity for the mayor and those in the chamber to address our council member, District 4, Charles Whittaker. Charles Whittaker has served 3 terms as the city council member for District 4. During his tenure, he has served as mayor pro tem and deputy mayor pro tem under 3 mayors, 2 city managers, 2 EDC directors. He also is the unofficial court jester, for those that don't know, here at the council chambers, and has been known to play the part of Santa Claus on occasion. With all of those elected official positions, he has found a way to be in most every Christmas parade I think Terrell has had for some time. He's always there early on Saturday, sometimes cold, sometimes rainy. You can always count on seeing Charles there. His career has included work for the State Comptroller's Office and as Chief of Staff of Senator Ted Lyons and Senator David Kane. He has also served as a labor liaison for the United Way of Metropolitan Dallas and as an executive director of Kaufman County Environmental Co-op. Mr. Whittaker is a member of the Terrell Lions Club and the Kaufman County Historical Commission and a past member of the Terrell Economic Development Corporation. Believe it or not, he also serves as a deacon at Emmanuel Baptist Church. I found that hard to believe, but sure enough. And as always is the case, Charles finds a way to write me a note at every council member. And so if you can see here, he wrote, "and is my best friend." and that is so true, Charles. You know, I've always been able to count on Charles as a council member who always did his due diligence and would answer my phone calls, and we would have discussions. This last year, 2020, has been very difficult for not only the public, but also the council. And we've had to refocus on how we conduct public meetings, and Mary Gail and Mike and all of the city staff has been so involved in allowing us to find ways to continue doing the city's business. I can't tell you, Charles, how proud I am of your service to the city. You've done a wonderful job. We certainly appreciate it. I'm going to give everybody else an opportunity to speak, if you would like, and make comments about Charles Whittaker. Is there any council member?
So I won't do it in my Godfather voice.
Okay.
Here, Mayor.
Hey, you know what?
So it is rare that you get a city council member that has so much knowledge. Charles truly knows everything from nonprofit to county to state and local governments. So the decades of government service have really served Terrell well. Charles has always been willing to answer the phone and talk over the simple stuff like longhorn cattle or complicated infrastructure. So more than that, Charles is just a good person and a good friend. So Charles Whittaker, you will be missed on council.
Hey, Mayor and Council, I have to say a few words about my good friend, Charles Whittaker. I'm going to miss you, man. Um, Charles, he took me on his wing, when I got here, but he gave me a hard time. He had to kind of test me out before he started sharing information with me. He kind of bullied me around a little bit. I tell you what, we became good friends and we had many discussions about a lot of things. He actually adopted my grandson as his grandson. And we went out to see his cattle, and he just opened up his life to us. And I never will forget you, buddy. It's just that when my grandson gets around him, they always get into trouble. We went and watched the football game one night, and he made my grandson go up and steal the candy, right? And he said, "Well, Pepe, rather than go back and forth, just bring the whole bowl back." And so they sitting up eating the candy out of the bowl, watching the football game. So I don't know. If we ever get another Charles Whittaker, we have to make him. We have to build him, because they don't come like him. And I just got so many memories with him over a short period of time. I remember one other time when we were in Houston and we was playing a game. It must have been 1,000 people in this conference room. And they asked everybody to stand and answer questions about Texas. And Charles, out of all those people, was the last guy standing, and he won that competition. I didn't know he was so smart up until that point, but I tell you, love you, buddy, and I know you're going to go off and do great things.
Thank you, Councilman.
When I heard Councilman Simpson starting to bring up a conference, I thought he was going to mention the one time where Councilmember Whittaker, Councilmember Royce, I believe, Councilmember Simpson, and the mayor were all on a adult type of teeter-totter swing set there, and certainly have a picture to keep as a memory of that moment. Charles, you will be missed from this chamber. I don't think we'll have the humor that you bring to the chamber ever again, but I think we'll continue to hear from you and see you in the community. I know I'm already getting calls and text messages about events after your time in service here on council, and look forward to continuing our friendship and journey in politics away from this chamber. So I don't think there's enough words that can be shared about you, Charles, today, other than you will be missed, you will not be forgotten, and you cannot be replaced.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Is there anyone out in the audience that would, Mike, did you want to say anything, or?
Let's do the audience
Okay.
first. Yeah.
Who do we have? If you would just come forward to the mic.
I get to pick.
Then show us some love. But we are going to miss you being a part of the council and getting to bring our wants and our dreams moving forward moving forward. But we wish you good luck. And with that, we have one word.
Bye. Okay, cool. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to come forward? Carlton, as you make your way, I do want to say and mention that We also have Councilwoman-elect Stephanie Holmes Thomas, who's going to be joining us in a week, but I'm sorry I missed you back there. Go ahead, Carlton.
Carlton Tidwell, President and CEO of the Terrell Chamber of Commerce, and Councilman Whittaker. For those of you that don't know Charles like we do at the Chamber, he is a free coffee hound. And he knows everywhere in Terrell, America to find a free cup of coffee, and he ends up at the Chamber just about every morning, and that's absolutely great because we do appreciate Charles, your wit, your humor, and your counsel. And there's always you have to leave the cup at the Chamber building, but you can always, I think Sarah is tired of seeing Terrell America cups, but you're always welcome at the Chamber for a free cup of coffee, and we appreciate everything that you do, not only as a council member, but just with your great heart for the city of Terrell. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlton. Anyone else?
I'd say good evening, everybody. I just couldn't let this moment pass. When I heard he was terming out, it was a very difficult decision to throw my hat in the ring because I knew I had big shoes to fill. This guy has been a pillar in this community for years. You have been like an uncle to me. As people were talking, I was almost fighting back tears, like, my goodness, I don't know if I can do this. But you have definitely been very influential in Terrell, and you've been a leader with a servant heart. And I just pray that I could follow in your footsteps, and I couldn't ask for a better person to follow. So I appreciate your service to the city, and I appreciate all the fussing you heard me do and my complaints in my district. So now I guess I'll be able to do the same with a listening and loving heart for this city as we move forward to bigger and better things. And we ask God's blessings in all your endeavors and your future, anything you want to do. Thank you for your smile, for your good heart, for the wit. He's Johnny on the spot. He never misses an opportunity to make you smile, and I appreciate that. And thank you, and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you, Councilwoman-elect. So if there's someone, Bruce, would you like to say a few words? As Bruce comes up, I did want to say that not only is Charles important and dear to us, he's also dear to all of the elected officials in Kaufman County. So much so that Mayor Jordan in Kaufman pulled me aside and reminded me that he wanted to be here today for you and that he couldn't because his wife was out of town. And for whatever reason, he said, you will forever be known as pro-monkey and anti-chicken. I guess that's an Austin, something happened in Austin. I'll leave it at that. But go ahead. Go ahead, Bruce. Okay.
Well, I'm going to do my best not to talk very long because I'd be up here for about an hour telling Charles Whittaker stories. But if any of you want to blame anybody for having Charles Whittaker in Terrell, Texas, I'm the guy. And Ray Dunlap reminds me of that pretty often. Charles came to Terrell in 1980, about 1980, I can't remember. You should remember, I mean, you know.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast, Bruce.
Okay, well, I'm right there with you. But at any rate, Charles we were looking for a transportation director to take care of all of our school buses we had. And he had been operating as an assistant director in Richardson ISD for their transportation system. So I happened to see him at several meetings from time to time, and we were looking for somebody, and I said, Charles, I knew he'd grown up in Forney, you know, and I said, Charles, would you be interested in coming to Terrell as our transportation director? And he said, well, I might, you know. So we got to talking, negotiating a little bit about money, of course. And then I kind of sweetened the pot with, we'll give you an automobile. I didn't tell him what kind of automobile it would be, but it actually was an old olive green soil conservation car that had like 250,000 miles on it that we had picked up at the surplus in Waco. And we barely made it back to Terrell. And Charles, that was his car for about 3 days, and then the front end fell out from under it. And we spent more money than the car was worth getting it. The other distinction that Charles has, and there's several that he has, is the fact that he is the only person, just to kind of give you a little context here, the old Nike missile base is located out off of Griffith Road. And it was the launch site. The other side, of course, where they had all the records and that had all the mechanical stuff, not all, but a lot of it, is on Colquitt Road. Now, I can't remember the road number. And so Charles, that's where we kept the buses. And it was a pretty lonely place out there. I mean, you know, I'd get home at night from a basketball game or a football game driving or whatever, and, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was still out in the country. And it was a little scary from time to time, but I will tell you this, Charles holds the distinction of having the only head-on collision with another school bus leaving and coming into that facility. And I don't know whether you, Sarah, y'all have probably heard that story. And so nobody was injured. It did damage the buses some, but he is... It's a true story. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So, you know, you just on and on and on with it. But he's also been a good friend. Charles wore many hats in the school district at one time. I believe you were our alternative education teacher, and he served in that position well. If there's anything you needed done, Charles was always gracious to step up to the plate and do that. And so we will always remember him and thank him for that service. He's also just a lot of fun to be around. Charles, as you know, is a lifelong Democrat, and he loves to lobby, or did love to lobby in Austin, still does some of that, I'm pretty sure, maybe behind the scenes. But he, I've made some of those junkets, and that's exactly what they are when you're with Charles. And we would go different places, and he knew everybody in Austin. I mean, he knew everybody. Good, bad, or ugly, he knew them, you know. And spent a lot of money, too, when you're with Charles in Austin. So, but he's got a great family, and he served our community well. Charles and I talked a little bit about him running for this position back 9 years ago, I guess, Charlie. And so I'm glad he's been able to serve. He's a good citizen to Terrell, and I'm sure that among all the people that are here today, the department heads, the EDC, the chamber, the city certainly, there'll be plenty to keep Charles Whittaker busy. So Charles, thank you for sharing your wit, your funny stories, which I will not tell all of those, of course, you know, but just thank you for being a good citizen of the city of Terrell. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Ray Dunlap, our EDC president, would you like to come forward?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, God only made one Charles Whittaker. And on a lot of days, that's not enough. We could use more. On some days, that's one too many. I have described the councilman as an acquired taste. There's some things in life that you need to acquire the taste, and Charles Whittaker is definitely one of those. But once you acquire the taste, you realize that he is somebody that you admire, that you trust, that you respect, and that we love. I learned early on when I came to Terrell that you don't plan your workday too strictly because you're going to get interruptions, and that's going to be Charles and Boudreaux. But I have learned a lot from the councilman. He loves his community. He is doing things for the right reasons. He cares about people. And as Judge Wood said, he knows a lot of people I didn't realize that until I heard the story that when Rick Perry was governor, they were sitting around one time and Whittaker said something about Perry, and he said, "You don't know the governor." And Charles said, "Well, sure I do." So they go to Austin and go up to the governor's mansion. They let Charles ride in. So this guy was just amazed, and they were leaving, and Charles said, "Yeah," said, "I like Rick, but he's not near as good as W." And he said, "Well, you don't know the president." Charles said, "Well, yeah, I do." So they go to the White House, and they let Whittaker ride in. The guy just shook his head and said, "That's amazing." They left, and Charles said, "Yeah, but," said, "the Pope." He said, "No, wait a minute, Whittaker." He said, "You don't know the Pope." He said, "Well, yeah, I do." Said, "I bet you, let's go to Rome." So they go to Rome, and this guy's out in the audience, and he looks, and there's Whittaker with the Pope on the balcony. And he looked at the guy next to him. He said, "Who is that up on the balcony?" And he said, "Well, I don't know who the guy in the white robe and the funny hat is, but the guy next to him, Charles Whittaker from Terrell, Texas." Charles, you have been a blessing. You will continue to be a blessing. You know that when the free food and when the free coffee's there, so you'll show up. But I want to thank you for your counsel, for your gift to the community. You truly do have a servant's heart. And we're not going to miss you. I mean, people acting like you're dead. I mean, I don't see Max Slayton anywhere close, so we know you'll be around. We'll just enjoy you in a different role. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ray. All right. Anyone else? Mike?
Sure. So I will tell you that as we as staff talked about Charles Whittaker, we also could fill a book with stories, but I'll boil it down to say just a couple of things, and that is we admire you, we respect you, you've mentored a lot of us, you've taught a lot of us about politics and how to handle things in a political way and how to understand the community, and that's greatly appreciated. So I really want to thank you because you spent a lot of time with staff that you didn't have to, and we really and truly appreciate the time you spend up here, so thank you for that. The other little thing I want to say about Charles Whittaker is there are some people who, when someone is hurting, they say, "Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, and I hope you get better soon." And there are some people who welcome you into their automobile and drive you around. And that's what I watched Charles Whittaker do for his councilman friend, Tommy Spencer. And it made a huge difference to Tommy Spencer that Charles Whittaker helped him serve out his last period of time on council. I will never forget what a kind and what a good heart you had and demonstrated for your friend Tommy Spencer, my friend Tommy Spencer, and that really meant a lot to me. And it shows you what kind of man he is, that he would spend his time helping somebody with that sort of health problem. And that's really a challenge for all of us, right? Because it's real easy and cheap to say, "I care about you," but Charles would show he cared. And that's a glorious, glorious thing. So, Mayor, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay. So we have some presentations, and I know Charles would like to address. Charles, would you want us to do the presentations first?
I didn't know was this good.
Today, the mayor's going to let you choose. Do you want to go ahead and speak, and then we'll do the presentation? Go ahead.
Over the next 30 minutes or so, I'd like to go over a few things, but now that you mentioned Tommy, and
You know,
it
Charles.
wasn't it wasn't all Tommy and I just being worried about the city and the spirituality of each other. We made deals on Mellon Street in front of his house. Tommy and I would say, "Okay, let's do that, Whittaker. Let's do that, Spencer. We only need one more vote." So Tommy and I'd sit in front of his house on Mellon Street and map out stuff and then come and smooth y'all, to try to get stuff accomplished. And I had, when I came on the council, I had big wingtips to fill with Jack Jones and Grady, same way, with Tommy. So So, a lot of city business was done, on Mellon Street, you know. And, if, addressing the folks tonight, I have to start with, the city employees. I was able to go and, see a lot of them today. And, we have, quality individuals as department heads, all the way down to the folks at police department. We have a fire department that's unusually, qualified to do their jobs. And we have a police department, led by a chief that truly cares about this community. I've been fortunate enough to, serve with, what did you say, 2 mayors? Three. Oh, I forgot about you. So.
That's easily done. You know what? You'll remember real quick. No.
Well, Hal Richards, DJ Ori, and Mayor Cremona. I was able to serve with Sandra Wilson and Ricky Jordan previous to the council. And then, we started getting these young guns in here, May Ronnie and Tim and Grady and stuff like that. So, you have heard me say it before, but looking at our council and including Mr. Sims, and including, our other employees, Stephen, Don, O'Mara, Allison, we've got top quality people. And you look at what the school district's doing and the school board's doing, we have top quality people there too. I'm very appreciative that I was able to serve on the Economic Development Corporation. And, again, our EDC, our Paddock that May Ronnie, I think, serves on, Grady serves on the EDC, in our chamber. We have things, we don't, we're not always perfect. Things happen sometimes, but, we've had things over the last several years going forward. And, y'all are to be commended for that. And, I just love doing this. Steve, some people meant to be engineers, some school superintendents, what?
You can
So,
tell.
Wait.
No, what I was
All
gonna,
this government crap's what I was supposed to do.
you can tell the passion that Charles has for what he does, the love he has for what he does, and how much he appreciates all of us, whatever role we play in moving the city forward. That's in his heart. It shows every day, the passion, but Charles, continue, yeah.
Well, I didn't say that's true.
No, I said you can continue, you got time.
No,
You take all the time you need.
Seriously, I am, and, I'm glad to serve with this council. Now, I do have, let's see, I'm trying to see who's here. Mr. Sims, an apology.
All right, thank you, Charles. So at this time, we're gonna do some presentations. Do we normally do the live first? Okay, we'll do it from the podium, okay. So Sarah, if you would come forward. Charles, do you wanna come, we serve the city of Terrell in the capacity that we do. Some of it's my fault, some of it's Mike Sims' fault. Because we have meetings, it seems like all the time. And we realize that we take away from your family time. And thank you for allowing us to have Charles, and using to better the city. It's so important, his role. And again, sometimes the families suffer, and that's part of our roles as council members and mayors.
It's his passion.
So thank you.
For
and
9 years, he was y'all's problem.
Okay. Oh, is that what- So on behalf of the city of Terrell, the mayor, and the council, we would like to present this to you, Sarah. Again, saying thank you.
Thank you.
And he's yours now.
Oh, no, he'll still be here on Tuesday. He's just off the chain.
Can we get a picture? Council, do y'all want to come forward? Let's take a picture. Come on.
If I'd have taken my meds, I wouldn't have got all teary-eyed.
And then I have a presentation for Charles. This is for you, Charles. You want to come forward? And you have to open this now, right? It won't blow up on you. Come on, come on, come on.
Go ahead.
Am I going first? Or is Mike going first? Mike? You go first, yeah. You want me to go first or Mike? Yeah, Mary, you go first. Okay. So, on behalf of the council, this is for you. That's from Grady, myself, Mayor Ronnie, Royce, all of us. Careful, wait, let me step back. Just in case. No, I'm teasing. You're gonna be good.
Here, Caroline, come help with these.
Can you help? So as mayor of the city of Terrell, we get to present keys. And rather than do a plaque like most presentations are, we wanted Charles to wear this key in honor of being a council member. So put that baby on. And,
My hair up.
thank you.
Okay, I saw this about 2 weeks ago. I think I saw this about a week or two ago. I was going through stuff.
Oh, no. But thank you so much for your service, Charles.
Thank you. Do I have to
You're
wear
a
it
good
also?
friend. Yes.
Well, there's a
Anytime
Well,
you're here, you need to wear your key.
There's a joke about this too. My dad told me long ago, but I don't have a pass card, key, or anything to this place.
Now you do. You got one to the city.
So, and people would have to let me in. Well, there was a reason for that, I didn't want to be blamed for something I didn't do. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Been a
And
good
then
mayor.
Mike has got some stuff for you.
Okay, there you go. Now, this is the official gift, and you've also got to give a man some fun, okay? So these are just a couple of fun add-ons.
You're funny, Sid. We've always said.
I'm a little funny. Yeah, there you go. Don't lose that one in the front there. Very important.
That's for his Longhorn.
I thought that he had to wear that coming in.
Yeah, you probably should. That's a good idea. You gotta open that, you open up the cup. Open the cup. Open the cup.
And read that to the public there.
Good for a lifetime of coffee refills at Terrell City Hall. No alcohol.
Oh,
So here's the deal. You get one, you serve, this fine man served 3 terms, okay? So the symbolism here is we have one for 1 term, we have one for Boudreaux, which is for another term, and then we have, can I see that one, young lady? This one is for one of your Longhorns, to symbolize the fact that you get 3 ribbons for 3 terms of service. There you go. That is 3.
Keep those names on there. Thank y'all very much. It's very touching. I have to hide this thing here. Rogers to throw it away. Again, thank you, and all the people and everything. And my wife and kids. Grady hears? Yes. Okay. I was born, only child. So, this privileged thing, I know something about it. Trust me. And so, mother's way of keeping contact with me in Forney was CB radio. You had to make sure your house had CB in the car, and it was, son, you need to get home before your daddy gets home. Bruce knew my daddy, and we didn't have cell phones, but we had CB. And I appreciate all y'all. I'm not running off free coffee, but this pandemic has put a Brooks's wouldn't let me have free coffee anymore. So, different places. Whataburger, I had a 5-cent cup from 1975, and they would not honor it. So I'm not going to Whataburger anymore. But Bruce got us here years ago, and hope these kids graduate real high. Really did. One UTA and one Sam Houston State. So, and this is just a new one we picked up. Thanks, y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all for coming. Hey, we're going to take some pictures with everybody, so thank y'all for being here today, and then we'll get back on our agenda. Well, they wanted to put it in a gold chain. I thought it might be too much. Are we good? Mary Gill?
Hold on, Hank, hold on, Hank. I got to button my coat. Well, y'all got me too. I didn't take my meds. You're all right. You're good. I'm good now. All right, hold on. Stephanie, come on, get the picture. And one thing I did mention, y'all, talk about me being funny. Stephanie's pretty funny too. I mean, not Whittaker funny, but still pretty funny. Yeah. I don't think I'll lose his key if I keep wearing it.
Actually, to save money, we're going to keep presenting the same one over and over. You got to leave it here. You know that, right?
They gave you the old one. They're changing the locks.
Any family. Yeah, button right there. Look at that. Mess my hair up. Bless baby girl, look out. Yeah, let's do that. Let me do one without the key.
No.
Huh?
No, you're gonna wear that till Sunday. Yeah, you have to wear, yeah, yeah.
Remember how you do Boudreaux? Remember how you do Boudreaux? Remember Boudreaux goes like that?
I got him last time. He didn't even flinch.
All right. So our next item on the agenda is item 7.3, discuss and consider strategic plan This is going to be Mr. Sims.
So, Mayor and Council, we spent basically the time from February to now working on different parts of our three-year strategic plan. As you know, the three-year strategic plan is basically the bridge between our long-term comprehensive plan and our annual budget planning process. It makes planning our annual budget very straightforward for city staff because we know what the council goals are that they want to focus on over the next three-year period. They got a chance as council to get presentation from all of our department heads to discuss department-wide goals, discuss city-wide goals, and really refine through all of this. It's really fitting that we ended up scheduling this as we're transitioning from an election period here because this is an opportunity to say, okay, what's the next 3 years going to be all about? And it provides a really good roadmap for that. So I want to thank council for all of that input. I'll read off the 5 themes that are listed here. Our citizens benefit when we are efficient and relentless. Our citizens benefit when we are the partner of choice. Our citizens benefit when we're a great place for commercial investment and job creation. Our citizens benefit when we are diligent in maintaining and enhancing our infrastructure. And our citizens benefit when we sit and achieve quality of life benchmarks. Those are the themes. I won't go through all the details of it. I will say that one of the very last edits that came in, and I'm going to thank Tim Royce for this, was a great statement that we put on the top of page 10 of the strategic plan, which is agenda item page 99, and it's the statement, "Land that wow idea, a project that would set our town apart from competing cities in the region," and that really hits the quality of life theme, nail on the head there to say, yes, that's what we're doing here. We're going to seek out over the next few years to really set ourselves apart from all of the competing cities in the region. The rest of it, like I said, I won't go through. It gives you department by department goals and details associated with those. Gives you a look at the budget at the end of it over the next 3 years. Gives you a look at borrowing over the next 3-year period of time. We discussed that last week. So we're proud to present it to you, Mayor and Council. We think it's a great strategic plan. And as you know, we've spent the better part of February through now working through that and getting council member comments on it.
Thank you, Mike. Council, as you know, we've talked about this. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into our strategic plan. I want to thank all of you for your input. I want to thank the staff for staying on top of it and getting it to us so that we can see it tonight. And we're going to adopt, or we're going to, is that correct? We're going to adopt the strategic plan. Is there any comments or questions?
Comments, we should say thank you to Mike Sims for his long-term vision. And this is proof that Mike enjoys hours and hours and hours of meetings. And but it does give us a good roadmap for the future. So this is a document that we'll pay attention to for years to come. So thank you to Mike Sims and the vision of just planning, right? Because there's a lot of day-to-day, but you also have to know where we're going. So thank you to Mike Sims and the department heads for really diving way deep into this.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? Hearing none, the mayor entertain a motion on item 7.3.
Mayor, me as council, can we just make a motion that we pass the strategic plan draft FY '22?
Is that good? Mary Gill, adopt or pass? Adopt the strategic plan, yes.
Okay.
Motion from Charles Whittaker, District 4, to adopt the strategic plan. Is there a second?
I second.
I have a second from Mayor Ronnie Velasquez, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem District 3. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion will carry. Item number 8.1, April 2021 National Incident-Based Reporting System. This is going to be Mr. Sims.
Mayor and Council, the next 2 items are just informational reports. The first one is from our police department. You'll see crimes down 14% since January, comparing over previous year to date. And then, if it's all right, I'll just mention also we've included on 8.2 the monthly report from our fire department. Police chief and fire chief doing a great job for us, showing us the statistics on a regular basis. If you've got any comments or questions, we can get those answered for you and just sort of
Does anybody have any questions or comments? None? Okay. So our next item is the executive board meeting. We're going to move into executive session. Adjourn into executive session in accordance with Section 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss the following. Section 551.072, deliberations regarding real property. Section 551.087, deliberations regarding economic development negotiations. If we could have just those that are going to present. Oh, we'll go back to the Tommy Spencer room. We're adjourned. He must have had his phone off.
Look at that.
What do you do? Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Mayor Ronnie. How are you doing?
Mr. Simpson, how are you, buddy?
Hey, remember that they've got the
Can't hear me
mics
yet.
set right where they want them for us.
Yeah, I gotta get out of this habit.
I know, you want to grab them and, yeah.
Well, I mean, I do that.
Thank you, Mayor Carmona, for your comments.
Grady, can you hear us?
My mic set.
Grady,
Are you on, Grady?
he's on mute.
Hey, you're muted, Grady.
That don't mean he should still be able to hear.
Can you
us.
hear us? Can you hear us?
Grady Simpson, can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
here we go. Ready?
Button to have.
We're going to reconvene into regular session and consider action, if any, on items discussed in executive session. Is there a motion?
I authorize the city, or move to authorize the city manager to engage professional services preliminarily to the purchase of the land for a fire station from the Terrell Economic Development Corporation and approve the TEDC board action.
So we have a motion from Mayor Ronnie Velasquez, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem District 3. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second, Charles Whittaker, District 4. Is there any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion will carry. Is there another motion?
I move to authorize an agreement between Terra Economic Development Corporation and Nucor Building Systems for planned expansion in an amount not to exceed $450,000 for job retention.
We have a motion from Mayor Ronnie Velasquez, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem District 3. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second from Charles Whittaker, District 4. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion will carry. We are adjourned.
There you go, Charles.